The great thing about mastery, in a way, you never get there, so it's always trying to enjoy that journey, trying to figure out how to get a little bit better each day. That's kind of always pushed me. Yeah, Ryder Cups in general have been very good to me, but we wouldn't have had that win if it wasn't for the loss 2 years before. You have to go through those tough times and those losses to figure out how to be better. Obviously when we came off in Whistling Straits, we lost 19-9, our worst defeat ever. There had to be some changes. We had to really take a deep dive and look what we need to do to improve. Always out of adversity comes something more better, right? Going through that tough loss is valuable. This time around, the Ryder Cup was completely different for me. I was at the helm, I was the captain. 14 months of trying to prepare for my team to succeed and give them the best opportunity to thrive on the golf course. So a lot of thought went into that, a lot of preparation. In the end, the players have to obviously hit the shots and they do a lot of the work. But I think I created a culture, myself, my vice captains, the rest of the team, to where they could thrive and they could succeed. And certainly a lot of that was kind of overcome the hurt that we felt 2 years ago. So golf is very individualistic, we play on our own most of the time. We have our caddy by our sides, and we do have a small team that help us, but most of that is centered about us individuals trying to win an event against other individuals. The Ryder Cup represents something completely different. It's about how you can bring those 12 guys, their talents, into a team and share their experiences and share their knowledge a little bit. For me, as a captain, that was kind of my job, was to try and figure out how to get everyone to buy into playing for more than just themselves. It's a lot easier to thrive when you have your teammates there, I think, and it's more enjoyable to enjoy that journey and success with them. To feel those emotions on a golf course, I hadn't really experienced that before. And as I said, I think it does come down to what's really important, those intrinsic motivations. Again, we're not playing for money, we're just playing to come together, to unify, to play for more than ourselves in an event that's watched by millions and millions around the world. There was a lot of pressure, a lot at stake. Again, after 2 years, hearing a lot of, the US is going to dominate for a decade, we don't have any chance. But kind of sit down and come up with a plan to figure that out and obviously turn that around. That meant a lot to me personally, and I was just so happy for the guys too, just to see them revel in that success. Everything that's hard to accomplish has certain anxieties attached to it, has certain pressures, has certain work that you have to put in. And I think that's the same for world number one. I was obviously very proud to be able to do that in my career, because it has always been a power sport, especially in the last 15-20 years, and someone who isn't a power player, to be able to figure out different ways to be successful. I think that was what was most gratifying to me, getting to number one. So my captaincy, you need to be a leader, you need to be a little bit more vocal, you need to be able to put yourself out there a little bit more, and that's certainly not in my personality. I'm a little bit more introspective, a little quieter, a little shyer. So I had to change, I had to evolve, I had to try different things. So all that stuff, from being number one to leading me to this captaincy, they all play a role, and an important role. Well, I think as a competitor, you always think there's another win in you. It's been many years since I've last won an individual title. I've come close a couple times in the last 5 or 6 years, but I'm turning 46 in a few days, and it becomes harder and harder the older you get. You're competing against such amazing, deep talent. But I still think every time I tee it up that it could be my week. I still feel like I work hard at the game. I feel like there's always ways to improve. But obviously I have this new opportunity as a repeat captain. So I have a chance to create some history. Only one other captain for Europe has gone back-to-back. It's going to be a hell of a challenge. It's going to be very difficult, but I've got 22 months to try and figure out some ideas that will give my team a chance. I met Charlie through polo, through RLX, and we formed a great friendship, a good bond, and we talked, and it just seemed like a good fit. I like that you guys use the word community a lot, you know, that it has unity at the end there. It seems like every time I do events with the Grayson pack, the Wolf pack, that you guys are all buying into this, you know, you're all part of it. And we thrive when we have that, when we are part of something bigger than ourselves. And I love that about Grayson's. I think that's why we've seen such tremendous growth within it. There's always more you can accomplish, and I'm certainly very proud of what I've accomplished in my career, and probably accomplished more than I would have thought I could accomplish. There's some missing parts on my resume. I never was able to win a major, which I would have loved to. But I still think there's more journey ahead, whether that's on the golf course or broadcasting is something that I think could be in my future. And I love architecture. I love golden age architecture. So, Archie, you don't like golden age architecture? You like more the modern stuff? Anyway, yeah, this is Archie Donald. He's 2.5, Australian mini Labradoodle. And, you know, I'm just I try and stay in the present as much as possible and not get too far ahead of myself. But yeah, if I was to walk away from golf right now, I think I'd look back and be very proud of what I accomplished.